Hello and welcome to Internet Capital Markets, the weekly show where we explore how financial systems are being rebuilt on the web. Each week, we sit down with the builders, investors, and institutional leaders shaping this transformation, from tokenized assets to decentralized finance, dApps, and everything in between. Today, we focus on data and on HFT, which stands for high frequency trading, and how to bring that on chain. But before that, let me welcome Jonas, my co-founder and co-host, as we are builders ourselves. Today's show is brought to you by TrustBytes, Smart Treasury for Internet Capital Markets. Our guest today is an absolute expert in data, trading, and automation. He's known from his talks about high-frequency trading, and we've met actually at Solana Build Station, and he did actually a workshop where we were so impressed that we wanted to have him on the show. So welcome, Krystian, also known as Mejordev.
Hello, it's a great pleasure to be here, and let's talk.
Yeah, let's directly jump in. So to set the scene a little bit for everyone who doesn't know you yet, could you introduce yourself and tell us how your company, Tempo, came to life?
Okay, so maybe at the beginning, a back story of myself. So I'm already something like 10 years in IT industry. From the beginning, I was strictly related to big data stuff. After 5 years, I decided to build something myself. So I try to build my own products. And from last 4 years, I focus mainly on blockchain and everything about trading and botting on chain. From 3 years, I was doing something like MEV attacks, opportunities, let's say, like arbitrage and so on. But later I discovered that some kind of validators game is more important in that part. And I decided to build something really on chain. It's how we met with my co-founder, Mickey, in one project which was aggregating perp dexes as a statistics. We meet there, decide to take part in one hackathon. Later, we decide to take, after half year, we decide to start to the new journey on Solana, because previously we was only EVM type of chains, typical devs. So we switched to Solana, and from that part, everything was like a very big rush. We were botting pump fund, buying 5,000 tokens a day, and start to taking part in each Solana event. And it's how we start building Tempo. So the trading automation platform, when users can, let's say, use our tools and also knowledge to enhance their trading.
That's super interesting backstory. And when we talked, you mentioned that you focus on one of the most interesting niches, actually, which is perpetual trading. And what made you actually say that in terms of perps, this needs to be automated? And actually, you didn't start with perps, but this came right after pivot, right?
Yes, the topic is more complex because it was at the beginning we on the Solana were using our tools to trade the meme coins, yes, on the launchpads. Also, we index the all launchpads, also probably the majority of trading data on Solana. But with very short time, we learned that in Solana there is very big data issues and also infrastructure. Infrastructure is very expensive. Also, to have everything live and robust is also very hard to maintain. The next thing is that people on the launchpads are very diligent, so they can update their smart contracts and your whole infra can stop working. There were some periods that you don't get any notification about that stops or changes, so it can kill your software. And we decide to switch to topic which, in our opinion, will be also hot, so perpetuas. We have experience with it because, as I mentioned, the project in which I met with my co-founder was the aggregator for per dexes. It was 2 years ago. In that part of time, there is not really so much volume of that, so it's why that project not live anymore. But we see that even if we go to the bear market, right now perpetual is more robust in our opinion than launchpads, and also we see how the volume on perpetuals grow. So we still something we predict it earlier, and after 1 month that we switch our start bidding on perpetuals, the whole FOMO right now on perpetual dexes appear. So we hope that it's gonna be alive, yes, as long as possible.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. I think perps are like, for sure, like one of the hottest topics in crypto at the moment. And actually, we have like something in common. So Trustbyte and Tempo. So you participated in the Colosseum hackathon. So basically the hackathon for the entire Solana ecosystem. And we just finished the Colosseum hackathon, the Cypherpunk hackathon. So this leads me to the question: why did you decide to build on Solana? And like, why do you think Solana is like the right blockchain for Tempo? Is it because of speed? Is it because of transaction throughput? Is it because of data? Guide us through.
Okay, it's a very good question. So at the beginning, because I was, as I already mentioned, I was typically EVM type of guy. I say that Solana is very bad chain. It's not working well, but after some kind of breaks few years ago, right now everything changed. So Solana is very stable, is very fast. But for me as a developer and team right now, which want to build the real product for that, people really using Solana. It maybe sounds strange, but really people like to try new apps on Solana, have fun on Solana, invest on Solana. Most DJs are on Solana. So I observe some kind of situation that EVM type of chains are something like old money, but Solana is something like new trend. People really don't care about, the real users of Solana don't care about technical stuff. They only want to use apps. Yes. And it's why we switched to Solana. And also from perspective as developer on Solana, you have a lot of opportunities. So for us on EVM type of chain, there is a lot of them. I think that the whole, they spread the whole audience to different chains. And because of it, they kill some kind of FOMO and traction, because there is a lot of chains the same. And each of them can to grab people. Solana is completely different. Yes, there is not right now many forks of Solana. So the whole path also for that, if you focus on Solana, you can only be on Solana right now. And it works somehow that there is a lot of learning opportunities. You can join some kind of webinars, yes, some kind of courses which are free, which will really help you transition, like a Turbine and so on. Also the local initiatives. There is a lot of events. For us, when we enjoy Solana, it was that each 2 weeks, new event appear with some kind of prizes which you can build, win something, learn more, and repeat. Yes, and it's how we. It was very strange and fascinating journey, also exhausting one. But on Solana, you can really, if you have a lot of ideas and want to build, you probably gonna win something. It's only a matter of time and your repetition getting better.
Yeah, I can only echo that. I think that was also like our main reason why we decided to participate in the Colosseum hackathon. The ecosystem, like globally, on a global scale, is like really great for early stage, not even startups, like even before that, like just talented people that can essentially come up and execute on a product and then get support from the ecosystem, right? So that's definitely like a fair point. Whereas like in other ecosystems, the barriers are like much higher nowadays. But we would like to understand a little bit more of your background in trading and in data science before we dive deeper into Tempo and your product. Like what, or like how did your experience shape your approach building Tempo and like this automated approach of your product and the trading experience?
Okay, so the question is very difficult.
Okay.
For me, it was it was a very long journey. You know, the first transaction on the blockchain. At the beginning, I was botting the play-to-earn games. To be fair, as my journey, I was trading the NFTs, and somehow happens that some guy buy the very cheap NFT faster than me, and from that point of time, I was how he even can do that. It was in the same block as the transaction appeared. I learned about the mempool, and it's what completely I go to that rabbit hole and start doing the same. So the mempool trading stuff is where the HFT happens also. the competition was very high there, but you really can find opportunities in some kind of smaller chains. Yeah, so on Binance, on Binance chain or some kind of bigger or like Ethereum, there was very hard to compete because there was very huge players playing. But in the smaller chains, you can always compete. Also, with my previous co-founder, we made some kind of trap for other botters, so it was a lot of fun. But at the beginning of last year, something appeared that their competition stopped because some kind of botters take the opportunity and, in my opinion, make direct contracts with validators. So if the bots are built in with HFT in validators, let's say, there is not place for you to compete anymore. So it's why we switch also to Solana, because in Solana there is still places where you can compete. For example, as I mentioned, the meme coins is something that the validators and the real business don't want to touch, and because of it, for a long time there is a lot of opportunities, but still is the PvP type of game in Solana. Yes, and for us, when we are botting the meme coins, it was something that at the beginning we can create some kind, because we, as already mentioned, we have a lot of data, all trades on Solana. So I, for example, create the list for copy trading wallets, and it works. Yes, but also there is some kind of a lot of different labeling stuff of wallets to decide if you want to buy a specific meme coin. Yes, but it was something that in the end there is a lot of raggers. So our most profitable strategy was to rag raggers, and it was the solution which we earn a lot. But when you are ragging raggers, they also changing your strategy. So it was like a battle each day, even few hours, to change your strategy each other to win. And for us, it was something that we need to spend too much time to learning about strategy and finding new ways than to real coding and building, which we love. So it's why we started also Tempo to make some kind of trading tools which are maybe not niche, but right now, in my opinion, people don't know anything about trading automations. And it's also the big issue, but also I think the opportunities. So for us, from the beginning, us want to creating very advanced trading software, a lot of labeling, indexing. We learned that majority of people not even use something like DCA type of automation. Yes. So because of it, we also decrease our scope to make tools which are easier for people to understand.
Very interesting. Now let's dive a little bit more into Tempo, and as you guys call yourself the trading automation platform, what does that mean in practice, and how is it different from traditional trading bots and algo platforms? You already touched a little bit on that, but maybe explain it in simple terms without terms like mempool or something like this, so
Yes.
that all the audience will understand.
Yes, so for us is something like we think that there is a lot of big news. So at the beginning, if anyone here want to believe there is something magic strategy which you can just use and start earning money because something like magic AI making this strategy, if that kind of strategy exists, people will really not share it with you, because in that market it's not always that if you have more money that your solution can scale up, because there is that liquidities. If you making trade, you have price impact. Yes, so there is not scaling up. So if it's the perfect strategy, nothing like that exists. Yes, so for us, we want to create the platform when people can finding their own strategies. So for example, it's you want to create some kind of grid bot, we give you possibility to backtest in the previous data. Yes, but on the end, always the strategy is done by the people which want to using it, so the users. And for us as a Tempo, why we want to be a platform, because right now we observe the situation on the market that only automations people really know and using is Telegram bots, in our opinion. So the normal user which not have any programming experience using, probably at the best solution is Telegram bots. They are very slow, and also there are limited opportunities. So our bigger picture of Tempo is that you can find any automation you want. So if you want to copy trade someone, you can. If you want to do grid bot or DCA, you can easy set up in the and run on our infra. And the next point is that we don't want to be custodial. We don't touch your money. So it's also a very important part for us. But right now we decide to not taking the bigger picture and start building everything. We focus majority on perpetuas because there is not any automation in our opinion. Also, a lot of people start using perpetual dexes, and it's our main focus because in perpetua also liquidity have very impact. So for example, with Tempo, we not focus in the perpetuas only on Solana, but also in different chains. So for example, with us, you can spread your trade to 3 different biggest perpetual dexes, like for example, Solana at Jupiter, Lighter right now, and for example, Aster or Hyperliquid. Yes. And because of it, you get better pricing, and also you can manage that position only from the Tempo dashboard, for example. Yeah, so it's why we focus on that part, and also some kind of maybe strategy for people which are easy to like DCA and the grid bots. Yes, so nothing really complicated and nothing which says that magic AI label something.
That was a lot. So I still try to digest everything, and hopefully I can keep everything in mind here. Like when you say that essentially you can build out your own strategies and do copy trading or like do other strategies, trading strategies, like who or like what is the target group of Tempo then? Like who are you building this for? Is it like the normal crypto degen, or like is it like rather built for quants or like retail investors in general? Like who are you targeting here?
So it's very again difficult question because if our approach currently in knowledge, we can really make something not really focus on the one group, but also the connect that different groups of people. So for example, if you are quant, you have a very good strategy because everything is on chain. We can prove you history that you were a good trader, yes. And for example, right now, which happened on perpetuas, people can create the vaults, yes, and manage that funds for the user perspective. So people, for example, if we are both, let's say, the colleagues, I know you are good there, I don't want to care about it. In Tempo, you could, for example, create account and I can follow your move automatically. Yes, so we don't have that issues that, for example, because we learned that a lot of people also trading with the same funds. So they're making one wallet. In one stole the money, there is always issue that each of them can say, okay, it's your fault, because sometimes people make between the globe to operate and be able to trigger something in the all time zones. Yes, so for us right now, we try to focus about something users which are really know how to play that game with the settings. So for example, right now we're creating some kind of trading automations which farming points on perpetual dexes, but also making some kind of funding arbitrage. Yes, so right now if you want to farm the lighter gravity or extended dexes, we have tool, then you can do that with the, we also end on the funding. Yes, so and yeah, for example, right now, because it's the right in each stage of Tempo, we have a little bit more change to users which we want to convince. At the beginning are people which a little trading knowledge and some kind of technical, but later when Tempo will really be trading automation platform, we want to be as easy as possible to everyone to do stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. And probably you answered like part of my next question here already. But you mentioned that perpetuals, or you can trade perpetuals on Tempo, or like even like do arbitrage trading between like different perp dexes here. So like I said, like this is like one of the hottest topic in crypto at the moment, especially because there's like a lot of money to be made, right? And probably because of that, it's like very fast moving and competitive. So you mentioned like, for example, that you can collect points on different prop dexes via Tempo. Is that the competitive edge, or like how would you describe your competitive edge of Tempo?
No, so it's not competitive edge. It's something like the first tooling which really our users using. Yes, so right now it's something that we right now point to traders which don't really believe in some kind of magic strategy which gonna earn you money. Yes, market is market. It's very harsh. So we created that farming points because a lot of people right now want to try trading on perpetuas. They feel that is very hot topic, but they, for example, lost money. Yes, but they won't have exposure for some kind of airdrop. Yes, so it's why we focus on that. We can provide the cheaper way to obtain points. Yes, and because of it, we already testing our whole multi-chain infrastructure. Because as data guys, we know that integrating stuff, data, making some kind of abstraction to be possible to even analyze it is very time consuming. So for us, that kind of tools which people can also run on the infra, yes, in the web, but in the browser that we don't touch in keys, nothing, is the fastest possible way to get the feedback loop and fit the first user group. Yes, but on the end, we believe that Tempo will be something like if you think the automation on Solana or about the perpetuas, is two main points we will see when the times arrive where we go. But to think about the automation is Tempo, and you have platform that you can find the different type of strategy in one platform. Yes, so it's one place which you can fit in your trading strategy. Yes, and the perpetuas on even something like the spot trading.
Mm. You are kind of an expert in data, data scientist with lots of experience. And if we look at the blockchain, data often means lots of messy pieces, noisy, unstructured things. How do you actually process and interpret on-chain data to generate trading signals or automation triggers?
So it's very hard work which need to be done. Yeah, so it's which people which don't do that, they don't even probably don't know how it's tough currently. That at first you need to learn how the protocol works. Yes, because in blockchain you have only parts of data, probably in these transactions. Yes, there is also different spots in even each protocol. So you have something events, something like instruments, some kind of dexes or protocols not even produce any data, which can be easily obtained. So you definitely need to analyze everything yourself, create the patterns, how you want to join that all data together, yes, and produce you the end product, which is that you completely data set, which is fresh and everything there is correctly matched. Yes, so everything is very hard work, and it is probably the most time-consuming part.
Yeah, let's switch gears a little bit. And I think we could talk forever on those topics, especially data and automation and trading. But we would love to start with quickfire. So I will ask you one question each, and you have one word to answer one of those questions. Are you ready?
Of course, let's do that.
So the most overrated buzzword in trading today?
AI.
What's the most underrated dataset on Solana?
I don't know. I don't know that.
One metric.
My data set.
One metric every trader should pay more attention
to. Fees.
One mistake most quant teams make when going on chain.
It's in Warrows. It's something like in trading perpetuas. It's something like fake orders walls.
Oh, okay. Yeah. One word to describe the future of trading automation.
Tempo.
Knew it. One thing AI will never replace in trading.
I think that it's the decision speed in the current, that LLM models need a lot of time to come back with answers currently.
Okay. If you could automate any part of your own day, what would it be?
Coding.
Okay, one sentence. How will internet capital markets look like by 2030?
More PvP.
Good one. I really liked your answer that there's only one way to describe the future of trading. With you. Like that. That was a super fun episode. And before we wrap it up, where can people learn more about Tempo, and where can they find you online? And last question from my side, who should we talk to next?
Okay, it's a tough question. I don't know if you know the guys from the Met Engine stuff, which manage on Solana the liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they are a great team also about the automations. So because the thread trap already was here, yes. So yeah, Met Engine is also the next team you should.
Nice.
And for us, the Tempo can be found at Tempo floor trade on the X is probably the right place to connect. If someone want to connect me personally, it might also Telegram. Telegram is better for me, because right now in the X is a lot of spam things in private DMs.
Okay, yeah, and that is Mejordev, right?
Could you repeat
your handle?
And then
Mejordev.
Okay,
perfect. The same as the X.
All right. Super. Thank you so much, Mejordev, Krystian, for your insights today, for the show today. If you enjoyed today's discussion, make sure to subscribe, rate, and share the show. It helps us to bring more conversations with the people shaping the future of in-chain finance. This is Internet Capital Markets. Join us next week as we continue exploring how technology, capital, and human creativity converge to build the financial systems of tomorrow. Until then, stay curious, stay connected, and keep building the future of finance.